with his own unit and all of the equipment he will need when he lands. Large pieces of equipment are dropped with the men, including a heavy self-propelled gun. The weapon has been trussed and rigged in such a way that it will always land upright and ready for action. Half a dozen immense 100-foot parachutes are required to deliver its bulk safely to Earth. The airborne attackers carry out their operation with split-second precision, and each piece of equipment is unlimbered the moment it strikes the ground. Firepower is needed now. Supported by heavy fire, the airborne infantrymen advance. Even dispersed over wide distances, the troops are still connected to their command with the latest of communications equipment, such as the two-way radio set contained in the helmet, or the improved sound-powered telephone. Intelligence transmitted from the forward reconnaissance element speeds the infantry attack on the objective. Another unit of armor strikes to link up with the airborne attackers, now creating chaos in the enemy rear. Aerial observers have reported, however, that a bridge has been blown up by the enemy in Armor's path. If this were to delay Armor's advance, it would seriously hamper the Army's effort to set up a base for powerful coordinated firepower. In other times, it would indeed have created a delay, perhaps a fatal one. But the equipment of today's Army is equal to the crisis. To permit the tanks to cross over the area blasted by the enemy, a mobile assault bridge moves with the armored column. Developed by the Corps of Engineers, the bridge can handle any vehicle up to 50 tons. It rides on a standard tank chassis and is operated by a two-man crew. Little time is lost as it prepares to span a ravine which is holding up the armored column. Covering fire is furnished the crew by a waiting tank. For a moment, the bridge rears up before extending itself across the chasm, like a great cautious monster trying to find a safe footing for the impatient army. A jeep moves up first and finds one tread more than enough for its narrow wheelbase. Although the ravine took only minutes to span, Armor has been held up long enough. Without the mobile assault bridge, such a delay in the advance might have been measured in hours, critical hours which now have been saved. Sky Cav has been covering combat surveillance, exchanging information with our ground forces, making sure no profitable target is offered the enemy. The commander calls for artillery support to knock out enemy weapons which might direct fire on our assaulting units. His request is relayed through the communication system to a corporal missile battalion in the rear. Missile artillery and other weapons combine for mass firepower and help to neutralize enemy positions. The mobile bridge is retrieved for instant use elsewhere, now that the armored column no longer needs it at this point. A plastic assault pipeline is used to refuel armor from a distant gasoline source. Immediately needed supplies are ferried in and dropped by cargo helicopters. These same aircraft are utilized on the return trip for the rapid evacuation of wounded. The objective has been seized, but the assault troops do not rest. The troops remount and move in small active units to hold and enlarge the area. Secure in their new position, they move forward once again, unleashing a new attack upon the next objective.
We've tried to give you a brief rundown on thinking and planning for the Pentomic Army and show you what we have done and are doing to materialize that thinking in positive action. What we haven't shown you is the vigor with which new weapons, new equipment, new organizations, and new ways of doing things are being made ready for phasing into the Army. Some of these are being phased in now. Some are for next month. Some for a half dozen years from now. The flexible structure of the Pentomic Army will accommodate all new tools as they become ready. Ours is a modern army, for and of the modern American soldier, who was born into a land of applied science, who cut his teeth on radio grids and model airplanes, who grew up with mechanical marvels and electronic wonders as robot companions that he learned to adjust, maintain, and improve. To this resourceful soldier, we offer the Army of the future today.
The enormously flexible structure of the Pentomic Army will accommodate all new weapons, methods, and ideas as they are available. Yours is a modern and dynamic army, as strong as the men who serve in it, as responsive to the challenge of the future as the country it serves. Now, this is Sergeant Stuart Queen, your host for The Big Picture.
The Big Picture is an official television report for the armed forces and the American people. Produced by the Army Pictorial Center. Presented by the United States Army in cooperation with this station.